Hey guys and gals, this is Iron Bill back again with another video. Tonight is going to be Nightfall hero level and playing with a couple of friends. And this is going to move pretty quickly. What we're doing here is trying to, of course, get our adepts for our characters for the week, trying to level them up. And these guys are obviously a bit better than I am, which you'll see in the gameplay. And they're a bit more advanced in their progression thus far in the first week of the season. They're well over 1,300, both of them. I'm just under that at this point, but that's to be expected because I'm Iron Bill. I'm Mr. Mediocre, so it's all good. And yeah, this week is, of course, Devil's Lair. It's the first week that this strike is back in Destiny 2. This is a Destiny 1 raid originally, and an old favorite. This is actually a pretty fun strike as they go. There are a number of champions along the way. You will want to have your seasonal artifact set so that you can run anti-barrier scout and overload submachine gun. It's a pretty good way to go. I followed that up with Xenophage for the solar enemies and for the range on the spider tanks and the brigs that we'll have to face. And it's actually a pretty straightforward deal. These guys, once we clear this room the first time and we kick off the next phase, they're covering the upper areas here, and I set on the back to cover snipers and these witches as they would spawn in. There are, I think, 4 rounds in this room, and honestly, this is the hardest room of the strike. There are, I mean, ad density is pretty high here. And if you have guys that are set up to slay out, and these guys were, it goes pretty fast. Now, they get up here before I do. And apparently I didn't see them fighting that guy, but they had him handled. I don't think I was the only one handling the anti-barrier, although I did have the scout. Standout weapons for me so far are still my Night Watch and my Ikelos SMG. I'm starting to like the kinetic submachine gun in some cases. I don't know if it would be like a true high-end deal. I want to knock these guys down real quick, but Ikelos is just so good. And it's so good now on console too. I mean, it's not quite as good as the best of PC play, but SMG stability is vastly improved on console this time around. And I would also say that scout rifles are especially better. You know, especially when you get to the 200, the 260s, super solid. I've not brought the raid scout rifle, the energy scout rifle in here yet. I haven't tried that, and it would actually be good because I believe that one is solar, if I'm correct. And that would dovetail nicely with this, and I may have to do a run with it. I'll have to upgrade it, of course, but I think that could be pretty solid. Because that is a 260, I believe, like Randy's. Decide to come down here and go after this guy directly. Get him knocked down. Get back up here and have a look. Just kind of keeping an eye on things. These snipers, they slide in on you so quickly. And the solar shanks here, the shields aren't overly powerful, but they're enough to slow you down that other things can move in. Now I'm trying to move down here and help with that guy, and then we've got our solar over here on the right. We're in pretty good shape. You'll know you've reached the final round when the final champion comes in, and he'll come right up the center where we're at. So I usually try to be down here by the time that happens. Now, usually he's right in front of me here, but that didn't happen this time. So I threw my super, and apparently one of my teammates had chased him over. There he is. He was behind me. But we got him. The time before this, when we were doing this, I wound up freezing the champion in place with my super, and they were able to take him down there. I mean, that is the other way to stop a champion, either with a grenade, stasis grenade, or obviously could have used a submachine gun to overload him. Either way. I really pushed into these guys. There we go. And next champion's down, and off we move. When these guys are in slay mode, you know, essentially I'm just doing cleanup duty. You know, I know what I do when I come in here is I pinpoint these snipers that are on top of the building first, because they will just start hammering you from the top. Then I start working the ones on the flanks. Obviously, I'm starting to take damage from the one on the far side. I want to be careful not to get myself pulled into that. It's easy to stand here too long and the tank gets you, so take that guy and move out quick. Then I usually move over here to the left side. And then I noticed that these guys are still up on top, or there was another one. Good thing about Xenophage is you just have to make contact. It does not have a crit, and I just left that there because I knew he'd finish it off with his sword. He was already moving in. Would have felt bad to finish it off just as he got there. Time my grenade. Okay, I've got a friend down. I see that, so I'm going to go get him. Dog is trying to fight his way there, but I got him. And that allowed Dog to keep moving. We got a champion down in the center. I just saw him. But he can hold for a second. We've got to take care of that second brig if we haven't already. And we have another death here. And there's that champion. And he's an overload. But I'm going to freeze him. And take him down with a Xenophage. I'm going to freeze him again before he does that again. And then I should be able to go in and just melee him. But I don't. Okay, which is good because the spider tank was about to get us. Got to back out of that. Alright, so we're looking pretty good now. We're actually scouring the area pretty quickly. I think he called out... No, that was the previous one. Previous run. So I've got 13 rounds, which should be enough if I can drop the tank to help. And here we go. Our ads are going to drop to our left just as we get that done. We really need to finish them off. We've got a champion that'll be coming out of that doorway too. So this is what you've got to do with this strike. You've got to do ad control. There's our overload. Got him frozen. I'm calling him out. Here comes the help. And we got him. And I was going to take the loss there if I had to, because I was the only one running a submachine gun at that point in time, I think. I don't think the other guys were running one. Alright, we're heading up. Boss room. While we're going up here, I'm having a really good time with this expansion so far. And it's always that way here at the beginning because there's just so much to do. And there'll still be lots to do, but it's going to be a lot of repetition. But I'm hopeful that it won't get so tiresome this time because it really is fun stuff to do. I mean, the battlefields are fun. This strike, as an old strike, is fun. I don't know about Fallen Saber. Right? That was never really one of my favorite ones, but we'll see what they've done with it. I think the changes they made to this were actually quite minimal. They added a little bit to the boss mechanic with the smaller servitors acting as shields, so that right there, that adds a little different flavor to it. And of course they've fixed the cheese spot up here in the windows where used to you could hide. You can't get in there anymore, but other than that, I mean, it's pretty much the same strike, you know, from beginning to end. Not a whole lot different. And champions, of course. They added champions to it. Alright, so we've got one more up there. I couldn't see him. And yeah. And what I try to do when I run this, because usually I come in with a couple of slayers, is that I try to work the ad control as much as I can. Just kind of keeping this side open. Now, one of the teammates had taken to kind of doing a circuit. Yeah. Alright, got him to shield up. It's amazing to me how I can miss with this super the way I do. Alright, so we got quite a bit of damage done there in terms of knocking down the little guy, circular guys. Alright. And I see I've ignored the ads enough working on the boss that they've really encroached a bit more than I ordinarily would let them. But we were trying to bring this down as fast as possible, and you have to multitask, and you just have to do it. So we're getting close. Freeze this guy up, and it's over. I've actually ranked up quite a bit today. I think I went up, I'm just under 1,300 now. It was 1,299 when I logged off tonight. Started the day on this character at 1289, so I've raised 10 levels today. Not bad at all. So anyway, if you haven't gotten back into this yet and you're kind of on the fence, I tell you come on back, especially if you've paid for it. You know, most people bought the whole pack early on, and if you're one of those people, come on back, give it a shot. I think you'll have a good time. So I want to thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to cap it there. So this is Iron Bill signing out.